All right, this is Roland Frost, an astrologer living on the Kona coast of the Big Island. We're going to go over this last week in December, the year 2014. It's a very strange time. We're having some strange lunations, and I'm going to get into that more. But first, I kind of want to go over the day-by-day stuff in the sky mirror for you. Help you plan your 2 weekends and your coming week, right? Yeah, the most important thing about this time you're coming into is that Uranus is stationing. It's stopping in the sky to go forward. It's been here before a couple of times. Goes back a couple of years ago. I talked about that in the last shows. But what you need to know now is as it slows down and stops, you get increasingly shaky or rebellious. You could feel weird and nerdy. You could have flashes of genius. You could have flashes of, I don't know where I am. So everybody has a feeling. A little bit of epilepsy is a classic problem for Uranus. It's the shakes, huh? And what happens is you can feel this thing build 20 days before it peaks on the 22nd and 20 days afterwards. But it's like a normal distribution curve, and it gets stronger and stronger and stronger and peaks out here on the 21st, and then it kind of mellows out. And if this is hitting your chart, if you've got planets around 12 degrees, well, Pluto is getting you too, and that takes this thing to extremes. Yeah, because this Pluto-Uranus square has been going on for quite a long time, hasn't it? And all you see right now is Pluto, it seems. The police are all over the place, but this square at 12 degrees, 13 degrees, has been going on for a year or so, and it's flavoring your world a lot. And when we've got these lunations on it, it gets exaggerated. And so what you get is volcanoes and quakes. Now there's a full moon on January 4th that makes this a lot worse. It sets off this Uranus-Pluto square very strongly, huh? And so there's going to be a secondary kick after the full moon January 4th. And you're going to see more volcanoes, a lot more volcanoes, and more of other problems too. But what's coming up for you, especially on Kauai and Oahu, is this thing is kind of hitting your location, and you're looking at possible hurricanes, at least big windy storms. I've got to be careful about my nomenclature here because, it might be just 10 miles an hour below. They won't call it a hurricane. But it's enough to knock your power out. There's going to be wind gusts, and trees get knocked down and knock down the power lines, and everybody feels isolated, huh? And that's kind of what's going on here. In fact, it's very likely around Monday, the 22nd, there's a lunation. I want to get into that later in more detail. For now, what's going on for you? Here's the sky mirror for the next 10 days. And I got all the planets out where they're supposed to be. And we're going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern. And as it goes around, it makes angles to all these planets. These are like the actors on stage. These are people, these planets. Yes. And as the moon goes around, it's your daily thoughts. It's what you're thinking about day by day. And so we call it the mood of the times, huh? Now, if you're on the Thursday night show, and most of us in Hawaii are set up for Thursday night playings, the moon's in Scorpio here, and you're going into the Saturn zone. Saturn is just about to leave Scorpio, huh? Scorpios will be all really happy to hear that when Saturn goes. It's going to come back briefly again next year, so you're not out of the woods totally. But as it leaves, Sagittarius, for the first time in 30 years, starts feeling a little bit of that slowdown, huh? And we're all going to feel some of that slowdown as the moon goes by Saturn on Friday in the middle of the day. Saturn is squaring Neptune by 4 degrees, 5 degrees, So we get confusion. First we get this slowdown and we're stuck and we're delayed and everything is late on Friday. And by the time you get to Friday night, well, here's the square to Neptune. Now this is, each one of these little tick marks is 2 hours. And this is at 2 a.m. Saturday. So this is midnight, 10. This is about 8 o'clock Friday night in Hawaii. And you've lost something. And you're spilling liquids. And look out. You're confused. So lighten up a little bit. This is not a good Friday night to be drinking. Drinking and drugs will not have the effect that you think they will here with the moon squaring Neptune. And there could be all kinds of strange, bad dream kind of stuff. Okay? Moon's in Sagittarius. It's still in Sagittarius on Saturday, the 20th. As you wake up, you feel a little better, though, because here's a nice aspect to Mars. And with the sextile to Mars, you got a little zip in your body that morning. And here's also a trine to Uranus. So we're feeling kind of like getting out there in brotherhood and joining all the young guys, huh? There could be more marching, for the young guys here. And there's an energizing of the Aquarian spirit. And you can get out and fix a bunch of stuff, especially electric stuff, and it's a good idea to do that if you're on Kauai or Oahu. This is a good, if you haven't already had your big wind and you're out of power, well, this is a time to go look around and protect them, because you want to get out. You can just trim a couple of, branches on that tree and it'll save your power. Yeah, as that tree limb whips around, bang. I got a tree out here and all my wires go underneath these limbs by about 3 or 4 feet. So I always worry about it because anyway, you got the same job here Saturday morning, the 20th. Get off your duff, go out and start figuring out what's going to blow around in the wind, because you're coming up on a new moon that says there could be some blowing in the wind stuff. Starts Sunday morning, the moon's still in Sagittarius, and Jupiter is there. Nice trine to Jupiter. There's some honesty and openness, and we're all doing good. Everybody's kind of happy. As you go into Sunday, the middle of the day in the afternoon, here's that new moon. It's at 0 Capricorn, and it sextiles Neptune. It's not a bad new moon necessarily, but things happen on new moons, Be with somebody you love. It's a nice sextile to Neptune. Play a little music. Feel spiritual, religious, sensitive, and artistic. Open up your higher heart. This is what this moon and this month is all about. Time you get to Sunday night, here's a nice sextile to Neptune. Good time for church. Good time for, those things that increase your compassion, the Dalai Lama would say. And that's what Neptune's all about. So really nice Sunday evening. If you don't do anything else, just read a little New Testament about Jesus. And remember, the 3 wise men were astrologers. And I've studied on it. And I'm pretty doggone close. If I haven't got Jesus' chart, well, when I'm continuing Don Jacobs' work, and I feel very strongly about it. And when I saw the chart, I realized the guy had been trained in astrology, and it's all over the Bible if you know where to look. That Jesus knew some astrology, huh? I mean, he was just a hop, skip, and a jump from Alexandria, where the great universities were. And you can bet those 3 wise men, they were rich. They were the best astrologers from some of the biggest cities in the Orient. And they weren't just going to go and, give him a little bit of gold and a little bit of myrrh. That was just get out of town money, small stuff that was portable they could put in your pocket. Frankincense, myrrh, gold, But they continued to support him. And he had a nice childhood. And when he's of age, you can bet they sent him to Alexandria for a higher education. And that's where the missing years were. And why he came back, at age 30, raring to go. He knew his stuff. He'd had his education. including astrology. So he knew how to use an astrolabe and draw a chart. And think about those three wise men, how carefully, the forces of Pisces and the church have covered up the fact that these three wise men were astrologers. It's like the word astrology is like a bad word in our culture today. Scientists won't use it, even those that are stuck with it. Those studying Mayans and Egyptian and all that stuff, they always use, astronomers. The Mayans were good at astronomy. Give me a break. It was all about astrology. Well, Monday morning, the moon's in Capricorn, and it starts to feel shaky. The moon's going by Pluto. In the middle of the day, we're all going to think about those policemen and what they're doing to our liberties. They're blocking our liberty and our free speech and our all, etc. And this is the shaky period. This is when it's very likely to have big wind, to have problems on Kauai and Oahu, and you'll have problems in your own mind. The winds of your mind will be chaotic here on Monday morning. So care is needed, huh? Now this square pops up. What you're going to feel most is Pluto, when the moon goes by Pluto. And that is, if this is 2 a.m., 4, 6, 8, 10 a.m. to noontime, this is going to hit. And probably you'll feel it again at sunset time. It may have woke you up in the morning. Monday morning, you might have, hope you didn't wake up to a bunch of sirens. Very possible. Anyway, the moon goes by Pluto, there's a sense of panic, huh? Eek, a bug. Eek, a policeman. And you're going to feel that on Monday. This is the shaky point around the world, too, and not just for us here in Hawaii, although it's focused in on us here quite a lot. As you go through Monday, the moon goes by Mercury and Venus, and, they're not going to help much. I mean, this is a nasty square. Uranus is raging. Look at him shake and rage. Oh boy, I'm ticked off. What happened to our freedom? Why is the media being criticized over the police actions? Tuesday, well, you'll still feel the shakiness up until the afternoon when the moon shifts into Aquarius, and then it all feels a little better. Here about dinner time, and in the evening, there's a nice sextile to Saturn, and we kind of got ourselves organized. And weren't we glad we used this time period back here, Saturday the 20th, to put all those lawn chairs away? They'd be flying around trying to break your windows. We got ourselves together. That's the general feeling on Saturday evening. Moon in Aquarius, not bad. As you go into Wednesday the 24th, the day before Christmas, the moon's going to go by Mars, and there's a nice sextile a trine to Uranus. Well, that's a sextile, 60 degrees, 120 degrees. They're both nice angles. So brotherhood's going. The team is out. Everybody's fixing stuff. This is nice. This is very protective, and it isn't just rages of road rage. No, there's too much brotherhood going on. Everybody's taking care of people. That's what it comes to. The brotherhood kicks in the afternoon of Wednesday. The moon goes by Mars here in the afternoon also. So it's an interesting day, Wednesday. Get out and do something physical. Continues through Thursday, but in the early morning, here's an opposition to Jupiter, and people are too loud, and there's too much to do, and there's too much laughing, and I don't like it. And increasingly, it kind of shuts things down through Thursday. Gridlock, they call it. And you get to hear the moon squares Saturn. It's cold, and there's places where there's ice and cold, and nothing's moving. And what happened here anyway? Well, there was storming up here, There's this storming period all over. And here's the heroes out trying to dig you out, but you're still kind of stuck here on Thursday morning. And for Christmas morning, do your Christmas late Thursday. Late Thursday, here's a sextile to the sun, and here's a conjunction to Neptune. There's music, there's spirituality, sensitivity, the higher heart. Thursday night late, it's very nice. You know, that's when you want to mix up your holiday spirits and have some music around. Very nice. Moon in Pisces, huh? Yep. Continues through Friday the 26th. People are still feeling that Piscean feeling of, here, heat up the cocoa, put a little rum in there. Here's a sextile to Pluto. Oh, maybe the police aren't that bad. Maybe we really just need them for control. I don't know. I don't think the police are very happy wearing those guns on their belt. I think all these handguns, you know, aren't necessary anymore. We should put them away. Kids will be happier. Kids are going to be happy Friday night anyway. Here's nice sextile to Mercury and Venus, and the girls are happy. And Friday night's pretty nice too, the 26th. Saturday the 27th, the moon's still in Pisces, and it feels like a good day. And right on through to the evening when the moon trines Saturn, and we got everything organized, and we bought the stuff we needed, and we're dug in for a happy holiday here. Not too bad at all. Well, Sunday, everything shifts. By the time you get up there, the moon's already been in Aries for a while. Started Saturday night late around 9-10 o'clock. Moon shifted into Aries. Started feeling a little shaky again, huh? There it is. There's the Pluto-Uranus square, 12 degrees, cardinal signs. If you got anything around 10 to 15 degrees, you know, of Aries, Libra, Capricorn, or Cancer, that area of your life could be shaking. Those people, you know, are not dependable at the time. So this is a difficult period. Here's the moons going by the south nodes. Some people need help here late Sunday night. This could be another storm kind of period. The heroes are out Monday morning. You know, here's a nice sextile to Mars and a trine to Jupiter, and get out and do the physical stuff Monday morning. The result of the chaos of Sunday, the 28th. Uranus, huh? There's a good side to this guy. Telepathy, brotherhood, the age of Aquarius. You also feel separated and alone, don't you? Ah, well. It's just the times, the way they are.